From newsrooms and apartments to mysterious laboratories and impossible creatures, today's artists have created some of modern fantasy's most memorable worlds. We are in Season 3 of Oscar Rewind, and today I am looking at Fox Searchlight Features' The Shape of Water. Co-written by Vanessa Taylor and the film's director Guillermo del Toro, based on his story, the film premiered at Venice before releasing in December of 2017. What's up, everybody? Cinephile Mike here, and it is a new episode of Oscar Rewind, where I look back at the films of this past year's Oscar nominees and winners. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any of these throwbacks. There's so many good ones coming. Today we are continuing with Chapter 4, Designed for the Big Screen. This chapter is focusing on the production, costume, makeup, and hair design nominees that thrilled the eyes of Oscar viewers, and today we conclude our Del Toro trio with his Oscar-winning stunner that incorporated makeup and effects by Mike Hill and Jordan Samuel, and set decoration by Shane Vieau, bringing this 1960s world to life. Now, if you've never seen The Shape of Water, here's your quick spoiler-free setup. During the Cold War, while Russia and the US are trying to one-up one another, we meet Eliza Esposito, played in a virtually dialogue-free performance by Sally Hawkins. A mute who communicates through sign language, she goes through her routine of helping take care of her closeted middle-aged neighbor Giles, played by Richard Jenkins, and working as a janitor in a classified government lab in Baltimore, alongside her strong-willed and devoted friend Zelda, played by Octavia Spencer. One day, Colonel Richard Strickland, played by Michael Shannon, brings a sea creature, played by Master of Movement, Doug Jones, to the lab. He has captured it from South America and believes it is needed to be studied in order to give the U.S. a one-up on the Russians. Working alongside him is Robert Hofstetler, played by Michael Stahlberg, who has other designs on the creature, recognizing what it is. As they begin to experiment on it, at the same time, Eliza begins to communicate with it in secret through sign language, music, and simple acts of kindness, and she bridges a communication stream which turns into something more, something Eliza never thought she could have. And as the relationship between Eliza and this creature grows in secret, the scientists are not getting anywhere, and as we learn, some people's intentions are not as pure as they were at the outset. So it is decided that the Amphibian Man should be killed. Well, desperate to not see this happen, Eliza concocts a plan to free him from the lab so that they can be together. He is her person. However, with the escape comes an angered Strickland who will do whatever he needs to do to recapture this man. The Shape of Water. This, I have to say, it's a beautifully realized take on the Beauty and the Beast story, and yet with some interesting devices that subvert certain expectations that you might have. I mean, this green, blue, oceanic color palette is such an interesting take for the more colorful 60s, but it works as we follow Eliza on her day to day. Additionally, you can see, unlike Pacific Rim, which I discussed the other day, there's a well-balanced formula for the story here and characters to care for with action as well as striking visuals. Let's talk about those. The apartments, the lab, this cute pie shop, they're all expertly detailed to both evoke the right nostalgia of the time, which set director Shane Vieau does, as well as giving some interesting science fiction flourishes with the underground lab. Every location feels lived in, whether it's Eliza's modest apartment above the movie theater or the sterile government laboratory. It makes the fantasy feel completely believable. Now, as the film plays on, it begins to fall into the look of a noir film, especially in some of the closing moments, which recall some of the great noir films of the time. And the makeup and the prosthetics by Mike Hill and Jordan Samuel, they are something to behold. Jones's Amphibian Man is quite a sight to see. This creature is so emotive that we don't see it in creatures like this, and it just helps make the love story we have here so beautiful and heartbreaking. And the rest of the cast, they deliver. Hawkins is glorious to behold, and the fact that she's a mute character adds such a beautiful layer to this story, which mirrors what she sees in Amphibian Man. And it gives her verbose friends like Spencer Zelda and Jenkins' Giles the opportunities to fill these silences as needed. Michael Shannon, He adds another skin-crawlingly good villain to his resume as the gentleman who will stop at nothing to accomplish his goals, even if he has to take some extreme measures. Again, the story seems to balance the more outlandish, fantastical concepts with the simple love story, and also offer a unique insight into the US-Russian relations at the time of the Cold War. Now, let's talk about box office and awards. After the film's run, it made $63,859,435 domestically and $131,384,029 internationally, for a worldwide take of $195,243,464. Critically, the film is high. 92% on the tomato meter from 465 reviews, 73% on the popcorn meter from over 25,000 audience reviews. Award season-wise, it was one of the most recognized films of that year, with over 400 nods and wins. I'm just going to do a few highlights. It was the most nominated at the 2017 Oscars, and it won 4 Best Picture, Director, Score. I didn't even discuss Alexandre Desplat's beautiful score from this film. And Best Production Design. It had 9 other nods: screenplay, cinematography, costumes, sound editing, sound mixing, editing, and 3 acting nods: Hawkins for lead, Spencer and Jenkins in the supporting categories. Of its 12 BAFTA nods, it won Best Director, Best Production Design, and Best Music. It won 4 out of 14 Critics' Choice Awards: Film, Director, Production Design, and Music, and 3 out of its 7 Golden Globe nods: Best Picture, Drama, Director, and Score. And the list of other accolades keeps going. I'm going to end it there, but again, it was one of the most celebrated films of 2017. A beautiful, well-executed love, suspense, horror film. I had to end with a strong, Del Toro film in this trio. The Shape of Water is a powerful, fantastic, no shocker win, 5-star film. Check this one out. If you would like to stream this one, I believe it is only available for digital rental or purchase. There's no streaming information right now. And that's it for episode 30 of season 3 of Oscar Rewind. And while done with Del Toro for a little bit, we are only getting started with the designs. If you enjoyed this episode and want to check out the others, make sure you subscribe to the channel, check out the playlist, and let me know in the comments, what's your favorite monster love story? Please follow me on all social platforms and Letterboxd, and check out my website, cinephilemike.com, for more exclusive cinematic content. I will see you all for the next rewind, but until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.